let's stick with children, but but this applies to adults as well. I think most doctors would say to us today, watch your diet, but also exercise, lose some weight. And is really the exercising and losing weight important to stopping someone from getting diabetes or reducing their capability of getting that disease?
The latter, reducing, is what happens. Okay, so if you exercise, all right, in order to exercise, you need energy. Now, this is hard to understand and hard to believe, but in every single cell in your whole body, you have a little storage compartment, believe it or not, for the glucose to go in there and stay there. And what happens, when I want to lift this hand, I got to get all of these cells here to open up and give me energy. Well, how do they do that? Well, they got glucose in here, and they got a little furnace in there, mitochondria, and they take, the cell knows enough to take some of the glucose that's stored there and now burn it. And so they take a physical thing called glucose and they put it into the furnace and they create energy out of it. Now, the first thing maybe you or somebody else would say is, how do you take a physical thing and make it into energy? Well, the answer is, when it gets kind of cold, we have a furnace, and we pick up a log, we throw it into the fireplace or whatever, and it creates two forms of energy. One we call heat, and the other we call light. So come on, you can't take a physical thing and convert it into energy. And that's what your cells are doing throughout your body, okay? So now let's go to exercise. When you exercise, in order to exercise, I can't exercise unless I move. I can't move unless the cells open up and put out the energy to do it. Well, okay, but let's say the exercise, you're at the YMCA and you're going through and you run out of some of that, what you have right here. So what happens is that the blood going by these cells are carrying what you want, which is glucose, and they don't need the insulin. They just grab it, pull it in, convert it into energy to keep you able so you can do more and more exercise. So exercise is a very, very good thing because it's reducing what? It's reducing diabetic destroyers roaming around in your bloodstream, hungry to eat part of you.
So it's probably true that with the lack of exercise that our children are getting, coupled with the diets that they're on, are probably the two major factors for them being obese and having the potential of getting diabetes.
Right on, right on. And what we have now is we have every year 1.4 million adults becoming diabetic, and we have 340,000 children becoming diabetics.
That's terrible. That's why it's a catastrophe waiting to happen, a true epidemic.
Exactly. And what you could do is looking, I know that you look ahead, and in November is Diabetes Month, and anything that we've talked about that can go somewhere to enlighten people. This is a knowledge ball game. You don't have to come along with a syringe like polio or do this. You don't have to send doctors out here and equipment out here. It's an education program. Tell them what not to eat, tell them to get exercise, and the whole rest of it.